Well, welcome everybody to the Get Healthy brand webinar. But today it's not really about a brand per se, a supplement brand, but actually a good friend, an incredible practitioner in the industry, better known as the urban monk. But to me, he's Dr. Pedram Shojai. And he is here today to share his insight, wisdom, and basically how he took the concept of pill packs and put them in a real practice model. So welcome, Dr. Pedram. I'm so glad you're here.
Nice to be here. Nice to see you.
Awesome. Well, we've been launching this new concept of pill pack technology in the Get Healthy store. So for people that are not aware, we have two ways to play if you want to do pill packs. One is through Zymogen specifically. They have med packs that is available on your Get Healthy store. So for people that are watching that may not have a Get Healthy store, that's okay. We can get you set up with a free demo, obviously. But if you do, you have the ability, if you have a Zymogen account, to actually pull in the MedPAX technology. And we're going to talk about what Dr. Pedram did pertaining to this pill pack technology, how he branded it to his own brand. The second way is Vitaboom. Now that's available across all Get Healthy platforms automatically. It's in your dispensary tool or in the pill pack drop down under recommendations. So you can go back and see that. But that allows you to build your own pill packs under the Vitaboom Box brand, and putting lots of different supplements in there across many brands. So while Zymogen is pertaining to Zymogen products only, Vitaboom does have a cross-brand offering that you could do. So two ways to play. And as you can see, you also can private label the Vitaboom box. So I just wanted to start with that because I know people have seen a lot of things on our pill packs. But Pedram, why don't you give us a little background on you and why we consider you such an expert in the industry to help practitioners scale, because you've done it.
Well, thank you. I've done a lot, and I've done a lot in a lot of different verticals, which makes me either a Swiss Army knife or insane. We haven't figured out which, but I used to own a lot of clinics, multi-specialty, multidisciplinary, one of everything. Kind of the Noah's Ark of medicine. We had everything going on, and so I got to see a lot. And then I did corporate wellness for a long time, and then became a brand myself, and then started doing online education. Um, a lot of content, a lot of docuseries and such. And then as that model started to shift, content wasn't what people needed. They needed hand holding. We used our content to then parlay people into health coaching and programs that were more high touch, and included programming that was customizable. And that's where we ended up getting, deep into supplement world again. I ended up private labeling several SKUs with Zymogen. And so we had my own bottles, my own labels, and it works fine, right? That's a perfectly viable path, and I really liked it. But then you inevitably get the array of complaints when you start dealing with a complicated gut case, which is that everyone's kitchen counter looks like mine, which is, here's 27 bottles of stuff this guy told me to take. And it gets a little overwhelming over time. You see a few doctors, you see a few people here and there. 6 months, 2 years down the line, you have hundreds of bottles of stuff, and it's just a lot. And so compliance started to become an issue. And so we started talking, and Vitaboom, I think the program's great. I'm personally a relationship guy and have a great relationship with my Zymogen rep, and Matt's just a great guy. He said, hey, this is it. I'm just loyal like that, right? And so we went with Zymogen. It's been great. It's, there's always going to be bumps in the road getting new things started. It takes a while to get through compliance and legal and all the stuff with private label, but that's the same across the board. But once we had the boxes, it's pretty cool. It's, I like, look, I'm a doctor at heart, but I became a media guy. And when you become a media guy, you start becoming very brutally aware of the cost of acquisition and the lead cost and all the stuff that it takes to get someone on the internet to turn into a customer. And so we're already tying up a ton of capital into the advertising and the Facebook and all that. So laying down a few $100,000 in capital to hold down inventory That's not my primary business. I'm not a warehouse. I'm not a bank. And so this model became much more attractive for a guy like me to do what I do best. And then they basically click, they buy, I get the retail, and then Zymogen swipes my card for the wholesale. And I'm just arbitraging the difference. I've never warehoused anything. I never touched anything. And so, being a person who's not logistics oriented, not sitting on a warehouse with a bunch of real estate, it became the perfect model for us to then scale the message and the branding and let the people who do the logistics and the 3PL just do what they do. And so we run everything through my Get Healthy store. It's just easy, and I like easy.
Yeah, so do I. And honestly, I agree with everything you said with the pill pack compliancy. I think the bottles get overwhelming for people. And then if you need to switch up the protocol, maybe the bottle's only available in 120 count, but your dosage that you recommended for them was 2 a day. So here they have a whole plethora of pills left over in the bottle, but we're at the point where we need to switch the protocol, and they may not need that supplement anymore. So the nice thing about pill packs is you can set what's in there. You pick and choose. You can make it individualized for condition-specific issues. You can make just a general pill pack that's available on your store. And we're going to show you some of Pedram's because they're beautiful and the content inside is great. But you can also set the dosage. That way, there is equal amounts of supplements within the box for the 30 days, which has been one of the things for me is that something might be a 60 count, another 60 count, and then I have a 240. And I'm like, don't we have a smaller bottle? And that's really up to the brand, right? They're gonna determine what their counts are. I determine what my clients need. So that's all such great insight. And then you took it a step further. You kind of implemented these pill pack strategies into a whole program that you're now doing, that's helping a lot of people with gut. So can you give us a little background on what that is and how that kind of came to fruition?
Yeah, we ended up, in the old days, we'd microbiome test everybody off the street when everyone got excited about, the microbiome stuff. And turns out you pull anyone in off the street, the microbiome looks like a dumpster fire. It's just bad. And so we've really flipped our algorithm to say, look, I just want to see gut barrier. I want to see permeability. We look at zonulin, occludin, LPS, and candida. And then from there, I want to see the food sensitivities, and give me 3 months to avoid the foods that your immune system is telling us it doesn't like, and put you on an elimination provocation diet, and let's heal the gut barrier. Then we start looking at the microbiome. Then we could, then you could get a lot more nuanced. But I found that, and this is always the challenge, right? Doctoring is an individual deal. Medicine at scale sucks. And so, this falls under health coaching, which means you need algorithms. You want to do anything at scale, you can't play doctor online unless you get a license in 50 states. And so we had to find a solution that helped the 85 to 90%. And this was it, because then we ran them through this front line of testing. Based on that, I created flowcharts to say, look, if X, then Y. And so if they have candida, we always clean up the candida first, send them this box, and then we put them on the digestive enzymes and the probiotics. And then if they have permeability, we move over. And so it became a really nice way of doing. And I hate even saying this because it bothers the functional medicine doctor in me, but to make it a bit more cookie cutter, because you have to, when you're using health coaches, you can't be practicing medicine. And so the biggest challenge I have all week is jumping in to be like, throw this, like just doing precision medicine for health coaching clients. And so if you're in a clinic, man, you could get into Zymogen. You create the things, you move them over, you put them in your Get Healthy store, and then you could go and change the ingredients in a med pack as well. And I'm doing that so hey, this person can't take turmeric. Hey, this person's a vegan. I just taught my coaches to go in there and just change things. And then they just print and ship, and it gets out there. And that to me I just love the versatility of that. And there is nothing that, this branding 101, I got a box that shows up, pretty box, and we can show my pictures of what I've done. But, I have these beautiful boxes that show up there, these elegant Urban Monk Candida Reset box. It's not a commodity, right? It is my thing. Now, inside, I haven't even touched this thing. I don't know what the factory looks like. This isn't my stuff. But because of the way we've done it, we have these beautiful boxes. They show up and people are like, wow, thank you. And honestly, and I don't do this, but I can charge whatever the heck I want because there is no Urban Monk Candida support box on Amazon or anywhere on the open market because it's mine. And so what I've done with this is created them, made them available to our patients. We're still playing with the model so that these are mostly going to our people in the gut program. I haven't gone to the world at large with these, but then we have our deep sleep program. I have an oral health program. My wife's a dentist, and we have a number of these programs that we're going to rinse and repeat for once we are just really optimized in the gut space. But we're doing really well in the gut space because of it. And it's just, I don't want to have to think about any more than I have to think about on a given day. And this is mailbox money to us. And again, I'm not a primary supplement business. I'm a doctor and a brand. So I'm going to leave all the logistics to the folks who do that better than we do.
Well, they look beautiful and, they're obviously well constructed. Matt's a great resource over at Zymogen. So he's West Coast, I know. There are East Coast reps. So again, if you're interested in an account with Zymogen and to get this technology pulled into the Get Healthy store, there's a form in your products catalog. Go there, fill that out. Make sure you give us your Zymogen number. And then that way, Lindsay can invoke this technology easily. So with the gut health program, can you give us kind of the concept of how did you figure out you wanted to go from influencer to like clinical application and to hire these health coaches? And what software are you using? Because I know you probably have a patient management system in place as well.
Yeah, we ended up running, I mean, we have all of our content on Kajabi as an LMS, and then we run most of our email through Kajabi. But then as people opt into these funnels and they, kind of elect to be VIP, they move into our close.com system that goes to our phone sales system. And then I have, real humans tracking and monitoring and all that. And the idea was leveraging the brand to help for me, I had to reverse engineer it and say, what is the single most important lever I can pull on to radically transform someone's health? And it all starts in the gut. So I said, well, then that becomes the primary beta of this new model that we're going to do is I'm going to leverage all the stuff I say out online into traffic that then comes in under a trusted source that then talk to my health coaches. And I only hire, there's only two schools I hire from FDN's and Sandy's Functional Medicine Coaching Academy. So I make sure my coaches are well-versed and then we train them I'm throwing books at people, learn the gut, learn the stuff, learn our SOPs. And then by the time they take on clients, I'm still doing clinical rounds once a week, meeting with the coaches because there's a lot of squishy stuff. Just today, we're talking about the migrating motor complex and this person, here's the flag. This person had food poisoning 3 times in 2 years and all this stuff showed up after that. And so then I go create training and resources for my coaches to be like, this is what you got to look out for because this is a person that needs a lot more ginger in their life or, whatever your gestalt is. It became fun for me because as a guy who used to see patients, I did miss the clinical part of that. I did miss healing people. I did miss being in the game. Like, put me in, coach. And this way I'm in there with my coaches and able to touch a lot of lives and help a lot of people. And the supplement thing is a real pain. And what we started doing is just saying, you know what? Our high ticket programs, they include your supplements. Don't worry about it. We got it. And it just really takes everyone just sighs with relief because they don't want to. It's like, oh, I'm signing up for this thing and they're going to send me out and to buy $1,200 worth of crap. And there's all this anxiety because there's so many people that are doing weird things on the internet that my job is to make these people feel safe and comfortable and take care of them. So we just include the supplements and it's just built into my cogs.
Oh, that's brilliant. I think a lot of the people that used to Get Healthy Store, they don't realize that they can do full program pages that include the cost of the supplements. The other thing that we just implemented that might be attractive to some people, and it's a qualification, you have to have a certain amount of sales on your store, but we do have gift credit available. So say, for example, Pedram, you sell a $3,000 program and it includes $200 worth of supplement credit on your store. We now have the technology that can do that, where you can assign it to a patient so that they can use that on a specific bundle protocol pill pack, what that looks like. If that is something you're interested in, or you're looking to do that in a program, please reach out to your account manager. They are on this webinar. Andy and Candace are available, so you can reach out to them. So talk to me a little bit more about how you go from a general pill pack that you put into it. These people, that is purchased, or actually included in the purchase, they are sent a foundational pill pack protocol, and then where do they go after that? Do they get a read of the testing? What testing are you using? And then how do they get funneled into your health coaching system?
Yeah, so they'll actually do the testing up front, fill out some paperwork, meet with one of my health coaches, figure out if we can help them, at what tier we can help them, or then just give them a bunch of resources and say, here's how you do it yourself. Here's all the resources we know about gut health, and you should probably eat glutamine. And then the people that come into our high ticket, then they're put into our EHR, which is Biocanic, is what we've been using. And the reason I like it is obviously HIPAA compliance and all that stuff. Which technically you don't need with health coaching, but I'm old school. I keep everything HIPAA compliant. Is then for our higher duration clients, is we're doing retesting for everyone on the gut permeability, but I'm also doing a US biotech microbiome analysis. I'm doing a toxicity panel. Like, we also have other tests that we do and we monitor, and it's also tied in with all the gadgets. And so once they tie in their gadgets through Apple Health or something, my coaches are like, whoa, what happened Tuesday night? And then you could start to correlate and be like, oh, that's the same night you had gluten in that dessert you weren't paying attention to. Look what it did to your sleep. And so the data really helps us help them see the impact of lifestyle and their choices. And I love the data visualization tools that we use there. And so also I've trained, so I got a credit card on file. I've trained my folks to just go in and with specific time triggers, go click, click, click through Avexia and order their tests. And so I just think that that is a really easy and scalable way of being able to help folks keep track of it all. And I have very specific rules. Like, we keep everything in our ClickUp, like project management software in the company. But as soon as someone becomes a client,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see a single line of communications outside of Biocanic. A, just because of the HIPAA compliance, and B, because I want to see what is being said and how my folks are being communicated with. And I want to have a roll up of where this entire case can be viewed, from soap notes and all. And so the technology makes it easy, so long as your boundaries with your coaches and your rules are set. I only have a couple places I got to look every day.
Wow, that's amazing. So just to reiterate what he said, he's using Biocanic, which does integrate with the Get Healthy store. So when you're in that software, in the Biocanic patient management system, there's actually an embeddable app where your dispensary pops up inside of it. So you don't even have to go into the admin of your Get Healthy store. And then once you write the protocol within there, it gets pulled into Biocanic and it saves in the Get Healthy store admin side. So again, if you have software that you're using and you want to check out Biocanic, you can, or if you don't have a system, you can check them out. They are partners with us. Courtney can drop the link in the chat for you guys to check that out. So it sounds like this gives you everything you want. You missed the clinical. You came back, you kind of got back into the clinical, but kind of train the trainer model. You know, the mistakes that I hear that you're kind of summarizing, and I don't want to say mistakes, but where burnout occurs, right? On the client or patient side, it's supplement burnout. It's the mass bottles, the tons of things that we have to give them, protocols changing, overwhelm, counts that are different on bottles and not always under our control. So you've kind of remedied that with pill packs. You know, you stay within your brand. And so everything that comes out of your ecosystem that I've ever seen, because I follow you and I'm on your email list, is always your brand. Always. It's very rare that I see a supplement that's recommended. Not that there aren't great brands out there, but that's not coded in the Urban Monk brand. And then this system that you've built where you're still helping so many people, but it feels like a personalized experience. I mean, I think that's brilliant. I mean, those seem to be like big nuggets that practitioners should be taking out of this as talking points.
I couldn't agree more. I think one of the things, having been one of the guys that drove this, right? I mean, I've probably done more docuseries than anyone out there. I've done a lot of media, and a lot of this media is one to many. Um, and with the advent of, the tools and resources we created, then the GPTs showed up, and now it's like you could just go into one of the AI tools and ask health advice and maybe be right. Um, I honestly am double downing on the value of analog over digital. And
Mhm.
I think as the world becomes more digital and more AI and more kind of wrapped into this virtual universe, the things that our patients are probably going to need the most is the warm hugs, the human touch, the soul connection, and the people are paying for it because they're lonely and the information isn't the solution. If not, they wouldn't be sick anymore. And so I've really come back to the humanistic side of this whole business and said, look, I appreciate all the tools. I appreciate all the media. Here's like the 1,000 courses I did and blah, right? But you sound like you need someone to just cry to right now. Right. And I've trained my coaches to be much more humanistic in that and be like, look, don't worry about the supplements. Like we got that. Right. And so we're just trying to make everything incredibly easy and um, frictionless because we don't, for me, I'm writing another book on this stuff. Right. But I think neuroception is a big word that's going to come in the lexicon of functional medicine. And it's about the nervous system safety signaling. You simply cannot
Right.
heal if you don't feel safe. And these people are just beat up and coming in off the street. Their doctor poo-pooed them. They mansplain their symptoms to them. They don't feel well. Someone's got to help them. Everyone's trying to hawk supplements at them. And so I'm not making it about the supplements. I'm making it about them. And so I'm taking the supplements and saying, look, don't worry about it. We got you. And not making them have to think too much because they're too stressed to think. So we're going to help them with that until they could think on their own again.
Wow. I love that. It's not the answer I expected, but I think it's a valuable one. Well, I do. I mean, it's not something we talk about. I mean, it has become a hustle and bustle society with healthcare professionals when truly we got into this to help people. I do think the tools help, you know what I mean? Because now we are expected to be marketers, we are expected to be business people, you know, sorry, think through inventory and things like that. But one of the things that you brought back was just the fact that we are overwhelming our clients. You know, we're overwhelming them with marketing and tools and all the things. And what you're getting back to is just the simplicity of like, hey, let's connect. So with this program, is there side coaching or group calls with it?
That's a big part of it is everyone who signs up as a coach has to do a half-hour group call in the community a week. And now I have 6 coaches and 6 days a week, and I do one. And those are all kind of like free forum. Anyone in the program can show up anytime and ask the coaches anything. What I do is I have the coaches prepare content based on pain points and frequently asked questions. So there's always like an agenda of like, you know, Naomi's talking about this on Tuesday, but then the last 10 minutes of every call, Naomi's just like answering calls. And that's where a lot of people are airing out their concerns, talking about things, learning from each other, realizing they're not alone. And so I think scaling group coaching is really important, not just for like the unit economics of making this a business, but also creating a community for people to realize they're not alone and realize that, their suffering isn't just them, and to find hope that someone who looks and sounds just like them just went through a similar thing and on the other side is reporting results. It's really amazing.
So if our listeners here want to do what you did, kind of start a program like this where they're going to start to scale, implement their choice of pill packs, whether it's Zymogen med packs, Vitaboom, implement softwares. What's kind of like your 1, 2, 3 of how to get started? So can you just give us the advice from Dr. Pedram, who has done it successfully twice over? Kind of give us, what should we start with?
Yeah. First of all, you have to start with a problem that you solve, not the million problem. Everyone coming out of school solves everything, right? Solve a problem that the world needs solved and come up with a solution that is not necessarily unique to you, but you do best and you can really deploy in a way that is going to be a meaningful transformation in their life. And then build around that and say, okay, what would I advise all my patients in this category to do, right? So like in guts, an easy one, right? Like we're going to start with an elimination provocation diet. Don't eat the seed oils. Like, so, what are the rules? And then what are the botanicals and the supplements and things that you need to do? And then what are the adjunctive things that a lot of people don't talk about? Like we do a lot. Like I sell more vagus nerve stimulators than anyone on the market because all of my clients need them. And so I'm like, look, I've been trying to teach people meditation for 30 years. They don't care. They don't have time. Put this thing on. And once you've chilled out, then you come to me and say, what else do you got? And so we have wrapped around their lifestyle in every way possible and created resources around that. Use AI, right? Whenever you do something, take the transcript, chuck it into your AI, create a resource, put it back into your as a PDF inside your LMS. I like Kajabi. There's plenty of LMSs out there, learning management systems that work fine. I just like plug and play in easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to preface this by saying, if you don't know me, I've spent millions of dollars developing technology before I realized I don't want to be in that game. I'd be up at 5 a.m. talking. My wife would make fun of me. She's like, "Oh, you're talking to your boyfriend in Bulgaria, or is it your boyfriend in India?" And I'm just like always on the phone with all these people just trying to make software work. And then I realized I don't like this. I don't want to be a software developer. I'm a monk doctor guy. Why am I even doing that? And so now I use easy plug and play solutions. I like Biocanic. I like Kajabi, and I like Get Healthy Store. That's like the triumvirate of the ecom meets LMS meets the kind of HIPAA compliant portal, and they all talk to each other fine, right? And so that has been pretty much it. And listen, you'll have a million other things for your business that, you have a Zendesk, there's other tech that you'll probably bring on for customer service or X, Y, and Z. But to me, that triangle is the base. And I have a lot of versatility through my Get Healthy store. I basically have everything on the market available to me. So I could just go and be like, oh man, it turns out we need a magnesium citronate instead of, threonate. So I just go in there, find the one I like, add it to my store, and now I sell it. And, the margin might be $10, but it's $10 I wasn't making, sending them to Whole Foods,
Right.
and they remain my customer. And that's, I think, one of the important pieces that a lot of people miss is, let's just say your practice is making $500,000 a year and you're kind of struggling, you're doing your thing. My guess is if you're making $500,000 a year, you're bleeding out 200,000 to 300,000 a year, sending people to Whole Foods to get the things that you recommend, or to Amazon or somewhere else. And what if you were to capture that at the top line of your revenue for your practice? Now your practice is making 750, let's just say, which then, and sure, you have COGS and you have cost of doing business and all that, but your top line went from 500 to 750. You just got yourself a better line of credit. You just got yourself a lot more firepower towards a business, because that's how banks look at things. And so I just think as doctors, we weren't trained in any of this stuff. So we don't know how to think about this stuff. But I'm a big fan of top line revenue for the valuation of what I'm doing.
Well, that's such great insight. And I know people probably came in here thinking, we're just going to talk about pill packs. But the reason I brought Dr. Shojai on is because he is such a, how can I say, well-rounded individual in the health space and someone that we can all learn from. We have done things in the past with Pedram, on Practice Accelerator with great success. And so he is definitely someone that you should go out and follow, watch what he's doing in the industry, how he's impacting and innovating health. It's a big deal. And just for a quick glimpse for those who came and may not be using the PillPack technology right now, this is available in the back of your store. This is your admin side where you log in as a practitioner. You can build pill packs in the recommendations tab. Also, you can build pill packs in this tab where you're building stagnant pill packs that will live on the front of your store here as these branded boxes if you want them to be. So all of this is available on your Get Healthy store now. If you want to start utilizing pill packs, there's going to be more on this because that's our entire focus, is helping and bringing in concepts of people utilizing our technology stack in clinic in real life. So you use the integrations that we've built with Biocanic, Kajabi, and now MedPacks, all within your store, all within your ecosystem of your clinic and your influence to the masses and your programs. So the reason that we're doing this is so you can actually see that it works and that it helps people and that it keeps you from trading time for money and burning out and not being able to do the things that we really want to do in the industry. So I really appreciate your time today, Dr. Pedram, and for being here. Is there anything you want to leave our listeners with?
This is a quote, I'll probably butcher it, but I think this is important, is we say this in like the business tech space a lot, and I think it applies just as much to doctors on this call, is first make it exist, then make it perfect. I think we are all such perfectionists that we're like, well, I need this, I need this, I need this. You know what? After this call, go into your Get Healthy store and just create a pill pack and play with it. And once it exists, you're now a doctor that has a pill pack. And no, you didn't write a $300,000 check to do it. It's a free roll. And then you now have a pill pack that exists and you can start to play with this, sell it to one client. Now it's a business. See how they did, make some adjustments, sell it to 5 more clients. It's not hard, but starting is the hardest part. So just after this call, go start.
Amen. The first pill pack I sold was to John, the CEO. So I was like, hey, you got to buy this because I just built it. And you know what he said? He remembered to take it because there were 2 packs. He took one in the morning and one at night, and he didn't want to miss his second one because then it would throw him on the next day. So praise to his type A personality that has to do things a certain way, that the pill packs really worked for him and he thought they were great. So just to let you know, it does increase compliancy. I do sell a lot of pill packs. I like them. I like to be able to build them and put what I want in there. So if you want to connect with Zymogen, again, you need to have a Zymogen account first, so reach out to them. At that point, you can come back into your products tab and we will connect your MedPacks capability to your store. VitaBoom is already available. And that you can go play around and create VitaBoom boxes back there. If you want private labeling of the VitaBoom box or the MedPacks box, you need to reach out to Zymogen for the private labeling to your rep of your MedPacks box. If you want VitaBoom and you want to private label that, please reach out to your account manager, Andy and Candace. They're both here today. They can put their emails in the chat. And so make sure you reach out to your appropriate account manager. They will get you connected with VitaBoom to get that private labeling done. And the great thing is if you have a logo and colors, it's free. So really nice offer from VitaBoom. And remember, connect with your rep with Zymogen if you need private labeling and design over there. So all of that is available right now. Guys, if this was helpful to you, share it with another practitioner. If you don't have a Get Healthy store, get a demo. Happy to give you a free demo of our tech to see if it's the right fit. Make sure you give Dr. Pedram a follow. Watch him. He's great. And if you need help with your gut, he's the guy to go to for sure. So Pedram, thanks for being here. We really appreciate your time.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, guys, until next time, we will see you again. Thanks for being here.